Hi, everybody. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Rachel, and I am a knitter living in Minnesota with my husband and our couple of kids and some dogs. If you saw my last regular podcast episode, number 3, my dog Barbara was snoring through literally the entire thing. So I'm sorry about that. She's not here today. She's outside. We'll see if she needs to come in at some point, but I've got a little Jackson down here and he snores less. So hopefully that won't happen again, but thank you for everyone who is very kind about it. So yeah, this is a knitting podcast mostly. And I have a couple finished objects today, and I have some works in progress. I have some unhibernated works in progress, and then I'm gonna share some, like, a couple of patterns that I'm kind of inspired by. I'm not gonna do plans anymore. I keep saying that because I don't follow the plans. But I will share a few things that I've been looking at, and what else? And then just some life updates and some things I've been reading and watching and liking. And yeah, I always like when people have like a little not knitting section in their episodes. So I will do the same. My sweet husband got me a camera and a computer for Christmas, which is extremely nice. He's like, he's very supportive of my hobbies. And so because the camera, I'm still learning a little bit. We're in a new spot. I think the lighting is better. We'll see what happens. But also because I now have a computer and I'm not just doing everything off my phone, I am working on updating Ravelry. So if you want to follow me there, it's at Rachel H Makes. Same as here, maybe? Same as YouTube? I'm not sure. Yeah, so I'm working on updating that, which has been kind of fun. And my Instagram is the same, Rachel H Makes. So come follow me, and that'll be fun. Yeah, sorry. Reading these notes is actually worse than just rambling on. So I'll just get into it with my finished objects. My first and most favorite is what I'm wearing right now, and I think it's hard to see because of how dark of a yarn it is, but I'll try to get up a little closer. This is the Port Sweater by Ozetta. I try to, like, I can't really show the whole thing. It's a little baby bump. But I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. It turned out exactly how I wanted, which is very oversized. I'll put a picture or maybe like a video of me wearing it up here. It's really very hard to photograph or video. I've noticed that with this really dark yarn. It was also kind of hard to knit. Like in the evenings, it's pretty dark in here, and I definitely found that to be the case. It's like it was hard I had to have to like get a little flashlight out to count stitches and whatever. So I think I need to invest in one of those like little neck lights for knitting. Especially, if we're like watching a movie or something, my husband likes to have all the lights off, but I'm always like, I can't see my knitting. So maybe I will invest in one of those. But anyway, this is, I should give some details. This is the Port Sweater by Ozetta. I knit the size large or size 4 or 5, large, whatever. I'm kind of always in between medium or large in her patterns. And I think that what I'm going to do from now on is size down one needle size, like just across the board when I knit a Ozetta pattern, because I feel like my gauge is always a little looser than hers. I think I just heard somebody else say this recently, that I think she's kind of a tight knitter, and I'm not really. So the gauge is a little bit off, but not much. And I was really worried the whole time that I was making it because, a drop shoulder, like it goes to here. So it makes it feel when you're knitting it like this, like, it's going to be huge, but then the sleeves are just so short that it doesn't really matter. And for me right now, it fits over the little baby belly, which is nice. I don't have a ton of things that fit, so it was really fun to have a win in that regard. And I knit this so I used a size US 9, but next time I think I will knit this again. I think I will use a US 8, just to get a little bit of a tighter fabric. And then I used Biche Bouche Les Gros lamb's wool. Don't make fun of my French attempt. In the color Very Dark Gray. And I bought it at Dandelion Fiber Co. in Minneapolis. And when I went in there, when I drove to the yarn store, I had intended to buy yarn to knit like a cream colored cabled sweater. And when I got there, I changed my mind completely. And I walked in thinking that I was going to get this. I was kind of looking at this particular yarn, but I was thinking about making the Great Lakes pullover, also by Ozetta. And while I was picking it out, the really lovely woman that works there, or that I think she's the owner, said that she knit a port in this exact yarn and that it was like her favorite. And she wears it all the time, and consider me influenced because I just immediately changed my mind. And I've been eyeing this pattern for a long time, so I just really like, I don't even know if you can see it, but I really like the ribbing detail on the shoulder. And it was super quick, and it was fun, and yeah, I love it. I'm very, very happy with it. I think the only modifications that I made are the ribbing down here. It's only like, really only like 1.5 inches or 2 inches, because I originally bought 5 skeins of this. I don't have the label here, but I had thought that would be enough, but it was not. So I had knit I knit a lot of the body, I knit both sleeves, I did the collar, and then I bought a 6 skein, and I just kept going until I thought that I would have enough for like, I kept going until I used like half-ish of the skein, and then did the ribbing and kind of measured a little bit for the bind off, for like, I just estimated what I thought. So I won Yarn Chicken. I had like a little tiny bit left, which was awesome. And yeah, but because of that, the ribbing was a little bit shorter than I had anticipated, because I didn't guess correctly, but it doesn't matter to me. Anyway, I'm very, very happy with it. And that's that. My next finished object is another sweater. And I think many of you have seen this, and I shared it in my 2025 like knitting recap. And I have some opinions, but I'm trying to not worry about those opinions until way further down the road. So it doesn't fit right now, and I should have thought of that. I knew that. I ordered the yarn at like 3 a.m. one night when one of my kids wouldn't sleep, and it hadn't even been something that I had planned to knit. And I just like, I don't know, I saw a picture or something, like when you're up in the middle of the night and just scrolling, it's dangerous and you make decisions that you wouldn't normally make. So that's what happened. And so I ordered the yarn, and it's Pure Gint in the color Jolly Blue and Tutti Fruity Marzipan. And I love the colors. I love the look of it. But I don't like Pure Gint. It's a little better now that it's blocked, but it's just like kind of heavy, and it's a little bit scratchy, and it's a little bit itchy, and I don't mind woolly. Like, this is really woolly and squishy and beautiful, and I like that. I like rustic, but this is kind of itchy. And oh, there's Barbara. Okay, we have to let her in 1 second. Okay, we'll see if Sorry, if you hear clicking, it's her nails. We'll see if she can be in here and be quiet. Can you lay down, please? Lay down, Barbara. I'll put a very cute picture of here, right here, so that it makes the noise better. I'm not going to talk that much about my problem with the yarn. I've learned a lesson and it's fine. But my problem with the fit right now is that this is a pretty short pattern, I think. I've made another one and that one looks a little bit short too, which is I'm not really a cropped person. I don't love that on me. And with the baby belly, it just looks ridiculous. Like my belly button is almost sticking out. And so I just need to not even think about it, worry about it until next year. And then I'll decide. I'll report back on whether or not I wear it and like it. But look-wise, it's beautiful. I think it's very, very cute. I really, really like it. I like the pattern. I love this back detail. So it's beautiful. I would totally recommend this pattern. I mean, obviously, like everybody's knit one. But maybe I'll get a ton of use out of this. Now that I'm holding it again, maybe I was just in I was like in a little bit of a bad mood last time I filmed. So maybe I'll turn around on this, but it doesn't fit right now, so I'm not going to worry about it. My next finished object, and also sort of an acquisition in the sense that I found these sock blockers in my basement that I bought a billion years ago. So I was pretty excited about that. These are some just like sport weight vanilla socks. The pattern that I sort of followed was like easy 2-ply sock or something. I'll put it up. Actually, I think it's on my Ravelry, so there. But I really like these. This is the leftover yarn from, it's a little hard to see the colors, but this is like a pretty burgundy. It looks nicer in person, I think. This is the leftover yarn from my stocking project. So that's kind of exciting because that was like a commission. I got paid to make those stockings and they're pretty easy and fun and whatever. And then now I get a bunch of free socks. So yeah, I'm happy with these. They're very cute. I actually have not tried them on yet. I was like really proud of myself I'm not going to be the type of podcaster that doesn't wear things before I film. Like I'm not going to wait weeks to wear them. But these ones I did. It was like only a few days. So yeah, I'm happy with them. I'm going to see how they wear. I've made one pair of sport weight socks many, many years ago. But I think that they were color work and they didn't really fit over my heel. So these ones hopefully will fit and are very cute. I did a heel flap and gusset. I think that's just what I need to do. It fits the best. It feels the best on. It's annoying to knit, but whatever. These were really fast because they're sport weight. So that's that first pair of socks of 2026. And my official January socks, and my goal is to make one pair of socks a month at least. But I think that I will likely make more. I think socks would be a good summer project. So we'll see. All right. That is all I have for finished objects. But I mean, I filmed like 3 weeks ago and I finished 2 full sweaters and a pair of socks. So that feels pretty exciting and good. So now I'm going to move into whips, and I have 2 things that I've just brought out of hibernation. So I'm not really going to talk about them that much because they're not super different from the last time that I showed them. But I just want to show them now because when I film my next episode, then they'll be like, this is just like a refresher, a recap, if you will. So the first, and this is funny because this is also Peer Gynt, which I just gone on record saying that I don't like, but I had already bought this, so I'm going to finish it. And weirdly enough, this feels better. This feels like lighter weight. Even when I was knitting it, I was feeling like it felt like nicer. But anyway, this is the Storm Sweater by Petite Knit, and I just picked up this right shoulder this morning, just to kind of remember where I was. And I am liking it. I want to knit this sweater. Like, I want a storm sweater because I really like the pattern, and hers looks beautiful. But I just have yet to pick the right yarn. But so far, this is looking nice. I'm going to keep working on it. It's a fun knit. It's also not going to fit until April. So it's not like a huge priority for me. But I'm trying to not buy a yarn right now, or at least I'm trying to finish a couple things. I'm not a person who likes to have a stash. I don't like to have a lot of projects just like languishing. I like things to be either done or frogged. Like, if I'm not excited enough to finish it right then it's probably not the right pattern for me, if that makes sense. Or like, if I'm not that excited about it, I don't want to even worry about it. So I'm going to do this. I am excited. I think it'll be like a kind of just nice sweatshirty, like casual with jeans or jean shorts maybe in the summer. So anyway, there's that. It's not that much different from the last time I showed it, but I don't think I've showed it for a couple months at least. And then the other, Jackson, can we have some of this yarn here? This is a bit of a mess. But this I'm excited, very, very excited about. This is the Hanni Cardigan by Knitters and Friends. And last time I showed it, I had just joined the body, I believe. And so I've made it a little bit down the body. I have one like ball that I had pulled, or I had frogged a different sweater to start knitting this. And so this is what I have left. So I need to order more. This is the Rerum Gilead in the color Pauvre. I don't know. I'll put it up, obviously. This is like a really pretty brown heather. I like this. I love Gilead. So I had seen somebody else, Hannah Way, make this sweater in this yarn, and I just had it, and I'm like, okay, so I will make it. So I think I'm gonna break this off and just start a sleeve to see how much of a sleeve this gets me, so I have a better idea of how much to order. But I am gonna finish this. I'm gonna prioritize this too, because a cardigan would be great. It'll fit whenever. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice puff partum piece too for like nursing. And kind of in that time of year too, when it's like spring in Minnesota and it's like a little damp and chilly still, but we're outside more. This is a good garden planting color. So yeah, I'm excited about this. There's not that much to show. And this has just been also hanging out, not getting any work done because, Christmas and all that. And I'm going to run out of yarn. So anyway, I will work on that soon. I'm excited about it. A couple of new, never been seen. This is the Chantal, look at my notes here. Chantal Beanie by Morocco Knit. I have recently discovered her, and I like really love her patterns. The like Mikala pullover was kind of on my list, and a couple other. There was a cabled one too that I was gonna knit of hers. I've decided now, because of my Olga situation, that I think I'm done with pullovers for the time being, until they will fit. except for the Olga. Or not the Olga, the storm sweater. I'm just gonna finish that because I have it. Anyway, this is the Chantal Beanie, and it's in Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the color Blue Tit. And I had a skein of this in my stash from knitting the tractor sweater for my son. And so I just cast this on and then bought another skein. That should be enough. And can I put it on? Sort of. It is cute. It has like a triple folded brim. And so I've gotten 2 of the folds done, and then I'm like starting on the 3rd. And then the top is like a slip stitch pattern, and it has 2 different options for the crown, where you can have like a traditional sort of 4-section decrease that's straight, or a kind of like a twisted one that's cool. I'll put a picture of the pattern up here because it's really cute. I have not decided yet what I will do, if I will do the twisty version or the regular one, but it's cute. I'm on my quest to make more colorful accessories, so I think this is fun, and it'll go with a lot of other things that I own already. I wear a lot of blues and greens and grays and blacks, so yeah, that's very exciting. It's squishy and nice. I'm hoping to finish that this week. And then my next... I shouldn't have invited this dog up here. He's laying on everything. This is the... Get up close. The Alex scarf by... The pattern is Knitting for Olive. And this is Knitting for Olive Merino in the colorway Rust. And this is like kind of special to me because my husband brought our 3-year-old to Dandelion Fiber for like to buy me a Christmas present, and so the 3-year-old picked this out by himself, and I think that's very, very cute. So I'm excited to work on this, and I've seen a lot of people knit this particular scarf, and because I knit a Sophie scarf a while back and I wear it almost daily, I'm really excited to have another option in a different color. And this is really cute because it's like so thin. I've seen a lot of people do, just around once and like a little knot, or around twice. And yeah, and it only takes 1 skein of yarn, which is great. Because these are like $11, I think, at my yarn store. So anyway, it's very cute. The pattern's pretty easy. Now I'm just in like this forever 2x2 rib land, and this hat is also this is 1x1 rib, and then I'm working on a pair of ribbed socks, so I'm ribbing right now, but that's okay. I'm very excited about it. It's very cute. I like the color a lot. It's not a color I would have picked normally, but I'm like, this is just gonna be like such a silly mom thing, but I feel like my son has good taste in color. Like, he's got good color theory going on. So anyway, that is that one. My last whip, I thought I was going to have done, lots of stuff going on here. I thought I was going to have these done for Christmas. I did not, but I was wearing an outfit the other day that I was like, that would have been perfect to have an adorable pair of ribbed socks, red ribbed socks in. I've dropped a bunch of stitches, I can see now. Hold on while we fix that. Okay. This is just a self-drafted 2x2 rib sock. This is on the monitor that I can see. It looks a little orange, but they're red. And this is Sandnes Garn Sisu in the color red. 1042 maybe? I can't remember. I'll put it. It's in my Ravelry, I think, actually. That's so handy. But anyway, I had talked about this last time. I did a provisional cast on, which was a giant pain in the butt. But it looks nice. So we'll see. I will do it with the second sock. I will wear these. And everybody I asked, and just in case you're looking for an excuse to not do a provisional cast on, not a single person in the comments said that it was worth it. So, I'm hoping that they're right. And everybody suggested that I cast on a bigger needle size or like use 2 needles, which is what I did with this. I cast on like with both needles, and then once I had all my stitches, I just pulled one of them out, and that seems to have worked well. So, anywho, I've made very, very little progress on these. I put this in my purse, and then whenever I have the opportunity, when we're out and about, I will like knit a few rows, but I keep bringing a larger project in the car, like if my husband's driving, and we live like an hour outside of Minneapolis, or a little less. And so there's like nothing around here. And we're from Minneapolis, so we drive there a lot. And so if I know that I'm going to get like 2 solid hours of uninterrupted knitting time in the car, I end up bringing a different project. But I should really just force myself to not, so that I make some progress on these cute socks. Anyway, I am going to try to focus on these a little bit. I feel like I have too many small projects going on, and that's stressing me out a little bit because I feel like pulled in a couple different directions. And if I were to just focus on one, I would be able to finish it in a couple days, and then I'd have a cool new thing to wear. So I might, from now on, I need to not cast on anything else for like a week or 2 and kind of finish some of these up. But we will probably eat our words on that one. So that's all my works in progress. I'm gonna check my notes again. Is that everything? It is. Okay, so I have a couple of acquisitions, and they're just little notions, but they were all little Christmas gifts, so I want to share them because I'm really excited about it. I got cute little stitch markers these are also from Dandelion Fiber. The brand is All Stitch Studio. They're very cute. I am super picky about stitch markers because if they're not rounded, they hurt. They like scrape on my fingers, and I hate that. So I picked these out, and I sent my husband a bunch of photos of what I wanted. So I'm excited about these. I took all of the colors. There's like some blue on here, but there was also these really cute green ones, but I have them already in my little stitch holder, my little stitch marker holder thing. Oh, they're not in this one. Also, I found these little cat ones. I don't love cats, honestly. I'm a dog person. But I found these in a cabinet, and I think I had bought them as a gift for somebody, but that ship has sailed. They're mine now. So, and I found this little handy holder. I'm kind of excited about that. And then I also, I didn't even bring it up here. I'll just talk about it briefly. My very fun, very cool older sister, she taught me how to knit. And she also, I would credit for not teaching me how to sew, but like getting me into sewing garments especially. And like most cool things, I'm going to credit her with. I think she's very cool, and I'm very lucky to have a very cool older sister. She's a children's librarian, and from what I can see, she's extremely good at her job. She's a really good book rex, and yeah, anyway, so shout out to Mallory if she's watching. Sometimes she does. She, for Christmas, got me a bunch of really fun quilting tools. So I've been kind of wanting to get into quilting. I've made a couple quilts. I've made a couple quilted items. A couple years ago, got super into natural dyeing and like got indigo and planted a dye garden and got all sorts of stuff. And I would like to do that again, but I have 2, soon to be 3 young boys that are rambunctious, and it just seems like unwise to have a large vat of indigo dye anywhere on our property, really. Even if it was tucked away, they would find it. I know they would. And who's to blame them? It would look fun, I'm sure. So I'm not doing that right now, but I want to make them each a twin quilt. And then eventually a third one. And I would like to make some quilted project bags, and I would like to make a quilt for mine and my husband's bed, and I just want to get into quilting. I think it would be fun. And I think it's a sewing thing that I would be able to do upstairs. We have a basement where my husband's office is and where my sewing stuff is, but I can't be down there while he's working with a kid because it gets just like, there's too much commotion. He needs to focus. And I was telling her all of this. And so she got me like a mini iron and a wool ironing mat, like that you use as an ironing board, but it's just kind of small. It fits on your table. And then another mat under that, so like the heat doesn't get through to your table. And then some like fun rulers and just like fun quilting stuff. So I am hoping to get into that in the new year. We shall see. But yeah, especially for some project bags, because I have like all of these things just lying around here, and I'm terrible at keeping them organized, and I don't put them back in their bags, and my kids are like throwing yarn everywhere, and it's just a whole thing. And my husband, I could tell, he never says anything, and he wouldn't, but I could tell that he's annoyed when there's like yarn all over the place. And I'm annoyed when his stuff is all over the place too, so that's fair. So yeah, that's my other acquisition. I was going to bring it all up here and show you because it's really cool, but I have not, and I don't have much time, so I'm not going to go get it. And then this is not an acquisition, but this is just something that I've been thinking about, and I am seeking advice, I think. So I knit with the Leica needles. They're wood. I am not a metal needle gal. They're too slippery for me. And I really like them, but I hate the cord. It's like, there's no fluidity to it. And I have a couple pairs of, I have some fixed of these Chiagu. I have a lot of things on metal needles right now, but it's mostly just because I don't have anything under a size US 4 in wooden needles because they just break too easily. So I'm wondering if anybody has advice on interchangeable needle cables that fit onto the Leica, whatever, wooden needles. I don't know if that exists. I looked a little bit on Reddit and it seems like maybe it does, but I'm just crowdsourcing here if anybody has any options. And then I'm thinking about, I didn't realize until recently that they make a shorty set. And I'm thinking about getting it, but I'm also not a shorty person. I like magic loop. I like a longer needle, otherwise it hurts my hands. So I don't know. Somebody talk me into it, because for like sleeves especially, I think that would be amazing. I don't think I would do it for socks. It's just too small of a circumference for me. It hurts my hands so bad. But if you're somebody who like also doesn't like the 9-inch circulars for socks, but you like them for like sleeves and bigger things, let me know, because I might invest in one of those little shorty sets. They make like a small one that's only like size 4, 5, 6, and 7, which would be perfect for me. That's generally the size of needle that I'm in. So yeah, that's that. And then this is the section where I'm going to talk about things that I'm inspired by, patterns that I've been seeing, but these are not plans because I never follow them. So, I often in the middle of the night is when I get like inspiration for something that it like feels so urgent in the middle of the night. And that happened to me last week with Dagan. I don't know how to pronounce that either. That the company, they sell like knitting notions that are really cool. They sell ready to wear knitted garments, but then they also have patterns. And I saw these vintage taxi socks, and like, I mean, you just thought that I discovered the moon, because I was like in the middle of the night, like, I need to knit these immediately. And then when I woke up, I took a deep breath, and I decided that I can't cast them on until I finish these red socks. So I'm going to finish those first, but then that's my next, I think it's my, actually think it's my next sock cast on, because I have yarn for it already. They're just funky and cute, and I really like them, and I like the all over color work. And all of their sock patterns are so fun and cool. And I had seen, I watched Maggie Malone, she's a fellow Minnesotan, had like a 20, or everything that she's knit in her first year of knitting video, which you should watch. It was really fun. And she knit like the dot socks by them, and they're so fun and cute. Like, they have just really fun patterns, and that's kind of a direction I'm trying to go into in 2026, is more fun as I show up in my charcoal gray sweater. So I didn't run out of battery, but I did run out of storage space on this camera. I am not a tech person. I don't really like it. I like to knit. I like to garden. I like to cook. I don't like technology because I don't like when it doesn't work. It just stresses me out. So I was all worried about the battery. Instead, the memory card ran out. I'm on my phone now just so we can finish this, because I only have a certain amount of time. And I completely lost my train of thought. I don't remember. I know I was talking about Maggie and her dot socks and the taxi socks, but I was on a roll and then I got interrupted. Anyway, I'm gonna knit the taxi socks. They're cute. I want to do it. Also, they have a pattern, which is now I can't remember what it's called, but it's got the like flowers, the 2 flowers, and it's in red, and it's in the Biche Bouche. That's what they designed it in. They're like Le Petit Lamb's wool, which I also love. So I really want to knit that. It's such a fun color, and I think it's intarsia. And I'm not sure, I guess I did that once on like a kid's sweater. But I would like to again. And then the other thing that I've been looking at is the Darcy Cardigan. Darcy Cardigan by Les Knit, by Lene Home. Can't pronounce that. I saw a really beautiful red version, and I am on a break from pullovers, but a cardigan would be great, and especially for the springtime. So I think that I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna cast that on, but I really want to. I think I'm going to, but I'll change my mind next week. So, those are 2 things that I've been inspired by recently. And also I think it's called the summer sweater. I saw it on the Knitterary on her 2025 recap, and she did it in a Durarum, like a cotton wool blend, and I like that for summer knits. And it's like a cute, airy sweater that would be like nice and cool. And I think it would be really cute as a summer thing. So those are some patterns that I've been really liking lately. And also, I was watching, you should go watch her 2025 recap, the Knitterary, because it was really good. And she made like everything she was making, I was just like saving on Ravelry as I was watching the episode. But also she's wearing these pants like the whole time in all of her try-ons. And I thought about asking her, but then I was like, I think I could just figure out what those are. And I'm pretty sure they're from the Gap. I don't know. But I found a similar pair from the Gap, and they're barrel leg, which I'm unsure about. I've never done that. I've never tried that style on before, but they're elastic waist. And in my quest to never buy maternity clothing, I ordered some of those pants to see if they will fit and if they will serve me for the rest of this time. So we'll see. I'll update you. They're supposed to come tomorrow. I'm excited. Yeah. So that is everything knitting wise. If you're here for the knitting and only the knitting, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for supporting this channel. I still am just having so much fun. I'm so inspired by like sharing everything and watching other people's videos. So this has been really fun for me and for my knitting. So yeah, the rest of this is going to be non-knitting related. So thank you for watching. And now I'm going to talk a little bit about sort of, I don't really have a life update. Life is chaotic over here. We're just in the trenches of raising young children, and we have 2 children who don't sleep super well, and we're about to add a 3rd, and I can't imagine that he will sleep any better than his brothers. We will find out. So we're just trying to get through day by day, but I've been doing a lot of knitting because of that, because I'm just tired and it's easy to sit and play and knit. So I really like New Year's resolutions. I think they're so fun. I don't care if I don't stick to them, but I just think it's fun. Like I get like energized in January usually to make some changes. I just think it's a good time to like, I don't know, start new things or whatever. So my this year's resolution, I really only have one because I can't handle anything else, is to be better about my skincare. So I've been trying to really hard to like every single night, you know, wash my face, do the lotion, whatever, and be better about it in the morning too. Sometimes I shower at night, sometimes in the morning, whatever. So that's something I've been working on. That's my resolution for this year, and I've been doing good so far. And also kind of with that is just getting dressed every day. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have a husband who also works from home, and like we are a family of pajamas. Like often we're just all in our pajamas or like just really comfy clothes, which is fine. I don't have any problem with comfy clothes, but I feel better when I wake up and I get dressed and I put on a cute outfit and like some handmade stuff and whatever. So that's something else I'm trying to focus on in the new year. And that's the conclusion of my New Year's resolutions for 2026. The 3rd one is just make it through the day, every day. Attempt to keep the house relatively clean, not because I feel like I have to, but because I personally like a clean house. Anyway, my other things that I was going to share about is sort of what I've been watching and reading and listening to. So first off is the YouTube channel that I'm currently obsessed with is called The Scandinavian Fika, and this also came from my very cool older sister, and it is like profiles sort of, or just like the person whose channel it is will visit a new Scandinavian bakery each episode, and they just make all sorts of beautiful bread, and like those like twisty cardamom buns and just like really beautiful, amazing looking pastries and breads and cakes and whatever. And I love to bake. So I've been really into that channel, and there's no talking. There's subtitles, but I don't even usually turn them on. I just love it. It's so relaxing and fun. And my kid likes it too. He gets kind of into it. Like, he always wants to know what they're making. So that's my current YouTube obsession. My current favorite podcast is Were You Raised by Wolves, which is a etiquette podcast. But it's just very funny, and it's fun, and it's engaging. Listeners like write in with questions about etiquette, like, and there's a little bit of what you would think of when you think of etiquette, like which fork do you use first or whatever, which is not applicable to my life at all, but it's very fun. And then there's some like just wild stories about like situations that people encounter and then they write in about, and it's so much fun. I really, really like it. I highly recommend, even if etiquette is not something that you care about, which it's not like a topic that I'm super interested in, but it's such a fun podcast. So yeah. And then I read quite a few books last year. And I should maybe at some point make like a little roundup of kind of my favorites of last year, because I did read some books that I was like just totally blown away by. And I have like a fairly eclectic book. No, I don't. That's not true. I read mostly like goofy romance and also fantasy. But I like to like pepper in some just kind of random out there books. And I don't like anything. I'm not like a big suspense or thriller. I don't really like anything creepy. It kind of freaks me out. And sometimes my husband goes out of town and like we live in the middle of nowhere, and I can't have those thoughts in my head. So that's the one genre that I really steer clear from. But the first book that I finished this year is To Say Nothing of the Dog by Connie Willis. I didn't write it down. And it's like, it's time travel. This was suggested to me by my sister. And yeah, it's time travel. Like, if you're at all a fan of Doctor Who, I highly suggest this book. It was really goofy and fun, but also like they are traveling back to Victorian times. So there's like some of that, like Victorian customs mixed in, and like some history. And it's just like kind of witty and fun and funny. And I really enjoyed it. I would rate it 5 stars. It was like really, it's like kind of chaotic in a fun way. Like, I would be like reading really, really fast, like skipping words and like kind of like I don't know. Anyway, it was just very fun. I highly suggest it if you're into time travel at all or fiction or whatever. And then the other book that I read that I loved was Everything is Tuberculosis by John Green. And he's like a young adult author most of the time. I've read most of his books. But this was a nonfiction about tuberculosis. It was so interesting. It was so fun. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I was also not expecting to like read more than normal, you know, like if you're reading a really good book, you're like spending more time reading. Like I was doing that with a nonfiction book about tuberculosis. That's how interesting it was. And my husband was getting so annoyed with like random facts, but it's so interesting. So if you're at all into like public health or nonfiction, or the way that like the access to medical care affects different communities, it was a very, very interesting book, and I really enjoyed it. It was pretty short, so it's kind of a quick read. And yeah, I think that's everything that I have now. I'm going to end this kind of abruptly because my husband just pulled up with our child, and the other one is going to wake up any minute now. So my time is up. But thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe, because then more people see it and it's really fun for me. And yeah, tell me your New Year's resolutions because I love hearing people's. And tell me what you're reading, and if you made it, if anybody made it this far. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for the support. Thank you for watching. And I will see you in the next one. I have actual plans I've been writing out and kind of just gathering like a 2026 inspiration. I know like people make like their knitting plans, but since I know that I will not follow any of them, it's going to be more of just like an inspiration for the year, kind of, or like intentions too for building a wardrobe and all of that. And then even though I don't know, it's just been warm here for a couple days, so I'm feeling like it's spring already, but it is not, and I need to get that out of my head because we have a long ways to go of winter. But soon there will be some gardening content here. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.